What's up, everybody? It's your girl Cece with Where It Begins and Cece in the City. And I have a special guest on the line with me today, my homie, my friend. I'm gonna let him introduce himself and who he is, what he does.
What up? It's your man Dave Tolliver, aka Two Bites in this joint, and I do it all. It's nothing. You should ask me what I don't do. Is the question. What up?
But yes, well, tell us who is Dave Tolliver when the spotlight is off.
When the spotlight is off,
Yeah.
over the years I've been looking at my life on the whole. I've become very boring. I'm basically down in my studio every day. Either I'm recording and writing, or I'm doing my radio show. I have a couple different radio shows that come on. One is called Cruise Control. That's on Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday in the Virgin Islands. And then the other one is called Party and Bull Ish, and that comes on pretty much 7 days a week on different networks. So I'm a husband. I'm a father. Um, I'm a granddad now too. I just had my first grandbaby in October. My son and his girl had a baby. Uh,
Congratulations.
I'm just I'm that guy, I guess. That's what they tell me. I'm that guy. It's that saying about it gets greater later. I think as far as like who I've become as an artist, I've become greater later, and I'm grateful and thankful that I'm having the opportunity to show off at this at my in my elderly state.
Okay, but you started years and years and years ago. You started with Men in Large.
Hmm.
So how did you get with that? How did you get into Men in Large and with Gerald?
So the crazy thing about Gerald is my whole life I have been sitting around greatness, and I've had the opportunity to rub elbows and just be involved with people that I didn't really know how great they were. You know what I mean? At like 12, 13, I had met Gerald. He was starting to burgeon as a superstar. And my mom worked for the government for 19 years before she passed away, but she also worked at this record store on the weekend called Fillmore East. Now, if you know anything about music history, especially black music history, um, if you were an artist, no matter from the top to the bottom, you had to go around and do these things called in stores at all the black mom and pop stores. And if you didn't, they wouldn't buy your records from the distributors in the city.
Okay.
And so Gerald lived like about a few miles down in his dad's house, the OJ's house. They called it the big house. It was about 3 or 4 miles down the road. And he would come in there all the time. And, I knew him, but I didn't know him. And, until I start seeing him out. And then I started working the radio. And then, he saw me and Jason singing one day somewhere. And he was like, yo, I'm going to hook y'all up. It took a minute, but we got there.
Okay, awesome. And now you got the Levert experience now. So tell us
Hmm.
about the Levert experience and how y'all got together and I know you're gonna be at the City Winery in Atlanta, so let's discuss it.
Yeah, we doing just about all of them. We're gonna do them all, hopefully. So the Levert experience came about from uh, great circumstance, from horrible circumstance. Number when you get gifts and you get blessed, you don't look them in the mouth or things like that, but you take it as a blessing and you appreciate it, you nourish it, you relish it, you nurture it, and we were supposed to do this Gerald Levert tribute on the Tom Joyner cruise for years, but they kept vetoing it. And so, back in the day, me and Mark, which is the tall guy in the group, he was the tall, skinny one. He ain't skinny no more, but he ain't fat at all. He big, muscular kind of. And so I would hang out with him all the time. So it was like that was my big bro. And then when things kind of went awry for him and Gerald and for us and Gerald, he moved to LA, so we didn't hang out as much. And so back up to now, they finally pushed the green light on the Levert experience. Well, and they wanted all original members, so to speak. So, Jason couldn't go because of his, he just couldn't make it. Let's just put it that way. He couldn't go. And, he hadn't been talking to me anyway. Joe had lost two members in death, and his other member had had two bad strokes, so it was just him. And then Mark was by himself, and they had wanted to get some other people, but Pops didn't come, and so what happened was we ended up going. We barely rehearsed, and it just fell into place like that little octagon ball or whatever you get where you put shapes in when you were a kid, and
Yeah,
you put the right
that
shape
eight
in that
ball.
thing. Yeah, you put the right shape in there, and it goes in real smooth. And that's what happened. And so almost 3 years later, here we are, the Levert experience, man. I tell them this is the recipe. One half. What do you get when you get one half a cup of minute large? Because there's two of us. Then you get one fourth a cup of the Rude Boys because it's four of them, and one third a cup of Levert because it was three of them. You get the most dangerous group in R&B. That's the Levert experience. My mother-in-law heard me say that in a drop the other day, and she's like, you're gonna have to do that over. I said, that's wrong. I said, no. I said, when you do a cup of butter, a cup, 2 cups of flour, 3 eggs, this, that, and the third, what do you get when you baking a cake? You get a whole cake. It's not a cup. I ain't trying to get a cup. I'm trying to get a masterpiece out of the ingredients, and that's what we got. The most dangerous group in R&B, baby, the Levert Experience. Yeah,
All right, now I seen y'all on front porch. I said, okay, y'all voices sound so good.
I appreciate that, baby.
And you're about to be at Atlanta City Winery. What can we expect?
I'm gonna tell you like this. I Over the years, everybody craved to perform at big arenas and stadiums and places like that, and we've done quite a few of those in our heyday. But there is nothing like an up close and personal crowd like the city wineries and theaters like Yoshi's out in Oakland and stuff like that. It's more. You get more out of it because they can't be distracted by anything else. You know what I mean? It's 300 people in the place, and all eyes are on you. There's no distractions, and you know that the people that came to this, if it's full to capacity, they came to see your ass. They came to see the Levert experience, or they really came to see Dave, or they really came to see Joe, or they really came to see Mark. They came to see this whole thing that we got going, curiosity, just the desire to hear those songs that people haven't heard in a long time, from the Levert catalog. So yeah, man, it's gonna be it's gonna be exciting, invigorating, panty wetting, moistening. You're gonna get tingles up your spine. Man, it's really high energy. It's funny. If they let me talk, it's super funny. But they get on me. They just want to go through and sing, and I'm just like, yo, dog, we got to talk to the people. You know what I mean? So yeah, Atlanta, it's going down, baby. August 9th. I'm turning that ass out.
All right. Well, Cece gonna be in the building. She gotta come support. Haven't seen you in a while. You and Joe and support be in the building. Like,
Me,
oh, but I don't know about all that other stuff you talk about. But I'll be there to support.
yeah, you know what time it is. You need to stop playing. Now, people. What I've learned is back in the day when I was growing up, people were very conscious about what people thought when say they didn't like. I remember I was like 9, and girls didn't like chubby boys, and I hadn't started getting fat, but I was husky. You know what I'm saying? Some people would call that fat. And the class had because they felt bad for me. They had to talk this girl. I remember her name is Tracy something. They had to talk this girl into being my girlfriend. You know what I mean? I'm like, yo, dog. But now, if you look around, I look at every girl that I've ever been with, whether it was relationship wise or uh, you know, just physically, they got heavy set light skinned dudes that they date. You know what I mean? It's like, and they're like, ain't nothing like a big man. I love me a big man, yeah, but you didn't back in the day. You used to be like, his fat, nah, You know what I mean? Now it's like, ooh,
Y'all in
come on over
season.
here. Come on. We ain't never been out of season, though. It was just a secret. Because I can't tell you all the things I used to get done, used to do being a big boy and even a bigger boy, man. You gotta remember at one point in time, I weighed 525 pounds. And so, and the ladies like that. They like that pressure, man. That bomba clap pressure.
I'm gonna go back and we're gonna go back into the music.
That
You
is the music. You know what that's called? That's called making beautiful music together. Like Pepe Le Pew, Miss Mademoiselle, we get together and make beautiful music together. That's skunk.
but let's go into this new release, Never Fall in Love Again.
Yeah. I
Let's talk about it and what's the motivation behind this song.
so I really you know, when people send me tracks, and I've heard this, a lot of people say, mainly professional cats that have been in the business, man, I love you. I'm a fan of what you do, singing, rapping, whatever it is, but I just want to hear you on better production. But it's like, for me, if I hear a song, if it talks to me, and if you're in music and writing stuff, you understand what I mean. If it talks to me, I start to talk back. You know what I mean? And it inspires me. Like, it doesn't have to be a Timberland or a Babyface or a Just Blaze or what's the name? What's the dude's name that Hit Boy beat for me to go crazy over it. I think people are possessed over names, and when they hear a name, just because these guys have had hits, their brain naturally tunes into that frequency just because. This rap, I'm doing rap stuff now, so it's like a total. It's not even a total 180 because I'm singing on every track just about rapping, and I wanted to do the rap because I've been doing that since I was a kid. You know what I mean? And but I never took it far, and I was with a group, and we were getting ready to do some stuff, and we never did it. And then I ended up having another rap group like in the late '90s called the JY. We had a whole album. We did records with Corrupt, all kinds of stuff, and it never came out because the dude that did it had got injured. But and I was like, man, I got to finish this. I want to do it. I want to do it, man, because all I ever do is freestyle and mess around like that. I'm not one that just we call it shedding when you sing, like when you go somewhere and just be when you doing that and everybody just singing and doing different stuff, shedding just to get your chops up. I'm rapping. I'm doing freestyle and doing all kinds of stuff. So most people have something called a bucket list. I don't even toy with that. A bucket list is associated with death, and I ain't going nowhere for a while. I pray, and so I said not a bucket list, but a fuck it list. Meaning, if I still could do it, shit, fuck it, I'm doing it. So I'm doing it, and there's never fall in love again. Like I said, the track talked to me, and if you really listen to it, that joint is crazy. My man West Nile did the track, and I used the I'm never gonna dance again. Guilty feet have got no rhythm. No, it's easy to pretend. I'm probably gonna get flagged for it later, but I don't care. I'm hoping it catch on. If it catch on, then I'll be, paid in the shade and they can have it. But my my platform on the rap side will be solidified. I mean, so yeah, never fall in love again. Never fall in love again. And though must be a joke, but I won't claim victim. Yeah, I took that whole melody. Hell yeah, I love that record.
Okay, all right. But what's one thing fans will be surprised to learn about you?
Uh, One thing that fans would be surprised to learn about your boy Dave Tolliver.
Yes.
Well, okay, I'll tell you this because I'm very big into mental health. People always see me and I'm always like cracking jokes or acting silly or being, I bet you people would be shocked to know that I deal with depression and anxiety. I bet they wouldn't even think about that, that because every time you see me, I'm always, acting a fool. But I think that's what I've grown to learn is some of that stuff is a deflection, so you really don't have to deal with it. But I stay in therapy. I stay at the appointment tomorrow.
Well,
So
prayers to you. And yes, you do joke a lot, but prayers to you. Mental health is real.
no, everything I say to you though is definitely for real. Baby, I'm for
Oh my
real.
gosh. I'm gonna have to
Ooh,
top out so much out of this interview dealing with you today.
why?
If you could describe your musical journey in one song title, what would it be?
In one song title?
Yes.
Damn. If I could describe my musical career in one song title, oh man, oh my God, that's a good question. My music career and I'm gonna go the gospel route. You don't know by Zacardi Cortez because his what he's saying in the song is my story, but it's I didn't go gospel, but I did grow up singing in church. You know what I mean? And then I took a detour because my career started early in entertainment.
Okay. So, what has been the biggest lesson you learned so far in your career, and what
To
has it
stay
taught you?
to stay away from you. Um, um, the biggest lesson I think I've learned in my career is to always, I think to always make sure that you take care of you, no matter who you have in your corner, management, publicist, lawyer, accountant, wife, husband, boy, whatever it is, make sure that you take care of you at the same time because if you don't and you just sitting back letting other people control what your outcome will be, then you can't blame them when they mess it up. You know what I mean? You don't want to be in a situation where you sitting back and you just blaming everything for everything that didn't happen and everything that did happen. It's
Mhm.
not, it's not a great headspace to be in going forward, especially if um you know, especially if there's no. It's like quitting a job and not having another one already. You get what I'm saying?
Exactly. Mhm.
So yeah, I mean, you got to make sure you straight. You know, because in music, when they done with you, they done with you. You know what I mean? They done with you. When you're done with you, they done with you. You know, when they done sucked all the blood out your turnip, they done.
Well, it seems like you still surviving out of all these years. So
You know what?
that's a good thing.
I do because I refuse to hear the word no and let it dictate where I'm going or what I'm able to do or what I'm able to accomplish. Now there are times where I'll be like, yo, I got to do some stuff, you know, because stuff will get a little short. Like, cause you know, I had a bad injury 10 years ago, and you know, I went through my whole savings, and I ended up having a permanent injury, and you know, um, so sometimes it gets a little rough, but you know, I'll go do. I have established so many different relationships, and or you know, people respect what I do that they be willing to throw some bread my way to get on a record or come sing a few songs here, do stuff like that. And it might not be my normal base pay that I get when I go out with the group or uh, with men at large or whatever, but it's still sometimes it's still more than some people making a week working 40 hours. So, you know, I
I
can't you
got
can't
you.
be mad. You can't be mad about that, man. I try to with this game I tell people I'm calculating and you know, Pac said every move is a calculated step. And so it for me it is too because I tell people when you look at the success we've had, and we've had some, but it ain't 30, 40 million records. It's a few million records here. And today that equation is not really a lot. You know what I'm saying? That's like in today's market, it's like really selling a couple 100,000. You know what I'm saying? They've diminished the success of the artist so much. It's crazy. And with all that being said, is that if you take care of all of those things, then you won't be sitting around for 10, 15 years like I was pointing fingers at somebody when I had everything at my fingertips or just in my mind space or at my think, to reach out and find somebody to help us or help me resolve other issues. So, make sure you, even if you have all those people on your team, that you're still aware of what's going on. Because in the end, if you don't know what you're doing, you're going to be sitting around blaming everybody else for your flop. There it is.
There it is. Now you got it out.
Yeah, God, dog.
But I'm doing this 100 voices, 100 stories. So I need you to finish this sentence for me. Your
Mhm.
voice matters because
It gets Cece excited.
what's the real answer, sir?
Don't erase that. I'm gonna be listening. If you erase that, I'm gonna go hard on you on social media. My
I'll
voice,
leave it
that dope. My voice matters because whether I'm singing or whether I'm speaking, I'm always saying something or dealing something that's going to uplift. Yeah, I clown a lot, but for the most part, I would say 75 to 80% plus, I'm always saying something to someone or to some people that has meaning, that gives you maybe a different perspective on life or helps you to just be like, F it, I'm doing this. Or, if I'm singing it, the vibration or the words or whatever song that I chose or just yeah, like that vibration that you feel from my voice because of the passion, because of the concern, because of the love that I have for what I do. It moves mountains. It has the ability to knock down anything that you're going through when I'm singing to you. Definitely.
Okay. And I ask all my interviewers this: what's one quote you live by?
Fuck you, pay me. No,
Only you.
uh, this is one that my grandmother used to always say to me when I was little, and it resonates now through my trials and tribulations, and is that no matter how bad you think you are, there's somebody a million times worse than you. And I tell you where that really, really hit me in the nuts. About a month or 2 months ago, Dominique Mitchell had this men's you know thing, a men's a meeting for men in the entertainment business, and I was like, all the stuff that we normally talk about that you don't believe, I was gonna go lay my shit down to folks and just talk. But by the time he called me up, it was some guy who had been molested by his uncle. He was still dealing with it in his 30s, almost 40s. It was somebody who had had 75 operations over the last 2 years. Then it was somebody whose son had just been murdered 3 years ago and they still hadn't come to grips with it. By the time they got me up there and after everybody else had finished talking, I just started cracking jokes and I said, because
Wow.
everybody else in here is worse than me. My problems to me doesn't compare to what these guys are going through. When I started singing, I need you now, Smokey Norfolk, and them guys was crying, and it just was once you realize you're chosen, sometimes you have to sacrifice what's best for you emotionally and spiritually and physically first until you help those because you've been given the strength to lead, to help, to heal, to mend, to guide, to show. And if I think you end up losing if you don't answer that call.
That's right. And mental health, like you said, is real. People are going through a lot these days, and that's what
Mm-hmm.
need. What we need more is testimonies. Like how you doing and motivation, and because depression is real, like you said. But
It is, and
go ahead.
I was I just my first single with the rap is called Too Much Pain, and it talks about, you listen to it, it's talking about, it's my real story. It's talking about the things that I've gone through in my life and how nobody cares. It's like you might have a wife or a husband or somebody in the house, and they only, I'm saying they might not care, but they don't know how to care. But
Yeah.
the hurting part is they know that you're hurting and don't take the time to find out how to cater to your needs. I could talk about that all day. All
But
day.
we're not doing that today. No,
Yeah, we
we're
do
not
what
doing
the
that
hell I
today,
say we
babe.
doing. We do what the hell I, well, I'll be over tomorrow. We'll fix it.
Do this thing on here
Hmm.
where I ask the interviewer in front of you. They don't know who you are or anything like that. They give me a question to ask you, and then you just give me a regular question to ask the next interviewer. So that makes me a little different, kind of creative with the podcast of 100 Voices, 100 Stories. So my
That's
last
dope.
interviewer
Yo, let me tell you
question.
something. That is the dopest thing that I've ever seen in my 30 plus years of interviews. Go ahead.
Oh, awesome. See, I could be a little creative, a little bit, just a little bit. But my last interviewer question to you was, and they don't know who you are, they just give me a regular question. They
Hmm.
said, "What's the best thing about you?"
Man, so many things that are good. I think the best thing about me is that winning or losing, hurting or happy, in pain or comfortable, on top of the world or at the bottom, I'm still the same. I never change. I never change, ever, and never have, and never will.
And yes,
Yeah,
I could agree with that. I've been knowing you for years, and you
man.
always the same. The talking trash, the laughter, the kicking, you know.
You know, and I tell people be like, man, how do you laugh so much? Or like, I'll make a joke after watching somebody get murdered, and it's not disrespectful, but I hate violence. I hate to see where we are as a culture. I hate to see where we are as a people. I can't do anything on my own, but and we're
That's right.
also if cats wanted to go march, I go and do. If cats want to just do some stuff and go talk to some young men because I know how to connect with them. Um, I tell people I stay animated because I hurt so much on the inside. And that's I don't mind being open about that. I hurt so much on the inside, man. I've lost so much so early, but I don't, like I said, I don't complain or brag about that because I guess my theory is like when you're called, you have no choice but to make those sacrifices early because you're the person that's going to be needed for so many other people around. And shit, that's been my life. That's all I do is is stand in the gap for everybody. And believe me, if you out there and you listen to this and you listen and deal with the same type of things, um, you're going to go through that the same way. You're going to give, and you're going to find out that more than half of the people that are around you, even the ones that love you unconditionally, are not either equipped to give back, don't want to give back, or don't even understand what's going on. So you have to just like Kedrick Perkins say, you got to keep a cool booty and just keep moving.
I got you. Hey, now.
Uh,
And now, what's the question that you want to ask the next interviewer?
what was the most uncomfortable time you've had DJing, but you thought it was going to be a safe space, but it wasn't? How about that?
Okay. Tell everybody where they can follow you, and what is one thing you would like to tell the audience right now?
Fuck them. No, y'all can follow me right now at Dave. Y'all can listen. I just want y'all to know that I did this for Cece and I just got diagnosed with pneumonia yesterday. It's not bad, but I still have it. When they tell you shit, your mind starts to trip. You can follow me at Dave Minute Large, at Dave Minute Large. Go on and follow me. I got a whole bunch of stuff going on. The Laverne Experience. Find out those tour dates. August 9th, we in Atlanta. And what was that last question?
And what would you like to tell the audience right now?
Oh, what I like to tell the audience is just thank you. I appreciate you. Go pick up the new. I'd rather prefer if you downloaded these records. One is called Too Much Pain. The other one is called Never Fall in Love Again. I got a whole rap album. It's called Let Me Talk My Shit. And I have a whole R&B album coming out in the fall, or first single coming out in November. And just follow me and just keep loving on me like you do, man, because I promise. I promise. And besides that, what you gonna do for your ears when I'm gone? You know?
That's right. Well, thank you, Dave, for the interview. I did not know you were sick and we could have rescheduled, but I do appreciate
Nah, but
you.
I drop anything for you because I love you. You already know that, but you don't return the love, and
Big
I'm
love,
gonna
big
listen to the.
love. Oh my gosh, I'm one of your biggest fans and supporters. What do you mean? I check up on you all the time.
You do,
Jeez.
you do, you do.
Well, I'm going to see you on August the 9th. I can't wait to be in the building. So go ahead and sober up and, so you can feel better because that is right around the
Sober up
corner.
for sure, baby.
Well,
Have a good
feel
one
better.
and good luck, and good luck with this. And whenever you start to post on Instagram, collaborate with me. I send them out too. You know, I love you like that.
Yes. Thank you so much,
All right, have a
Dave.
good one. All right,
Okay.
what
Thank you for joining us for another episode of 100 Voices, 100 Stories. If you enjoyed today's conversation, be sure to subscribe, leave a review, and share this episode with someone who needs to hear it. Remember, every person has a story, and it all begins with you. I'm Cece, and I'll see you next time.